Welcome back. We actually have some pretty exciting news on a Sunday morning. I know, right? A Sunday morning out of all times, but crypto moves 24/7, 365. And this last year in particular, we've been getting a lot of news happen on Sunday, Saturday, etc. So the thing that kind of sets this apart is that when we're talking about traditional finance at markets close, our markets don't close. So it's exciting to see that we get some little alpha before these people get to do stuff. But anyways, we are here. We are live. Good morning to YouTube. Good morning to TikTok, to Twitch, to Rumble. Happy to be here with you guys. Happy to chat with you guys. And let's go ahead and get into it. Oh, for some reason, my title is not popping up on TikTok. I don't know why. But we're going to go ahead and talk about it. Also, too, there's a big rumor that Bitcoin supply is running out. It is running out. We're also going to talk a little bit about that too. This is going to be a short stream. I don't really want to stream today, but I'm here, I'm streaming. Why don't I want to stream? Because I would rather be rotting in bed because it's Sunday morning and we should want to rot in bed, want to relax. But anyways, I did better. I didn't do too much binge eating last night after dinner. I think I only had one pizza and like 2 pieces of the bread. It was so good. And a little bit of Sour Patch Kids because they're going to be banning the red dye anyways. And I want it to be bad. And I haven't had candy in a long time. But anyways, all right, let's go ahead and first talk about XRP. And then we're going to talk about what's going on with Bitcoin and the supply. And then I'm going to do a quick market update for all of you guys. And then I have a special shout out to a project I want to give. Because I do that. We do that on the show. We actually, we do nice things for people that showcase kindness to us. Why? Because be a decent human being. That's why. Just be a decent human being. So let's first talk about the XRP news. This came from Uphold. XRP ETF approved. However, it is not the spot ETF. The spot ETF is the big ETF. And again, this is clickbait. It's okay. And the reason why I actually like clickbait and I prefer clickbait is because we are so lazy. We are so lazy in 2025. We're really just been lazy since like 2010. Okay. And if you just read an article headline and you automatically believe it and you don't read the article or you don't start fact checking, looking at other sources, etc., you're going to lose at life simply because you're lazy. So we don't want to do that. Let's encourage critical thinking. Okay. So I don't think clickbait's bad. I think it's good because the smart people are going to get the correct information and then also look to opposing views and get even more information. And the people that don't want to be successful, that are not motivated, y'all are just going to stay where you're going to stay. And again, not a slam, not being mean. It's truth, though. We all have to do better. But SEC approved a public launch date of April 30th for ProShares XRP ETF. Okay. The 30th is on Wednesday. So that's coming right around the corner. And this is good. And then if we go ahead and we take a look over here at Messari, if you're not using Messari for news, you should be. And not just news, they have so many amazing tools. But we love to use this, especially for aggregating our news for the day because it just has so many things. So the SEC officially approved the ProShares Trust XRP ETF, and it's going to go live on April 30th, which is a massive deal. It is not the spot ETF. And the approval was confirmed through the SEC filings and an official announcement from the ProShares Trust. It allows investors to gain regulated exposure to XRP via an ETF, potentially boosting institutional interest. This is not potential. They have to say potential because they don't want to give financial advice. There is 100% institutional interest. No traditional financial company would file and spend the money and deal with the legal fees if there was not interest. They're doing it because they're in interest. XRP is the top crypto coin. Bitcoin is in its own sector, but XRP is the top crypto coin. Doesn't matter. Market cap doesn't matter in this aspect. It's a top crypto coin. Ethereum has a larger market cap just because most of the crypto market wouldn't work without Ethereum because of all the layer 2s that are built. But XRP has the institutional adoption. It has the retail, the power. They did an excellent job marketing, and Ripple is really going to rival Tether and USCC and TradFi. It's just going to, it is what it is. So there is definitely institutional interest. There's also been analysts that have anticipated that about $8 billion per ETF of liquidity will start to come into the markets. Okay. And when we're also talking about these ETFs, remember, those operate in banker hours. Those don't operate like crypto does. So when people put money into these, it can't instantly just come out, because if the banks are closed and the office hours aren't there, you can't just buy and sell like we freely do in crypto. So this is more set liquidity. Can people sell it when they want to? Yes, they can. But again, it has to be during business hours. So there's a little bit, it makes the crypto markets move a little bit differently, especially when we're talking about altcoins. The launch date was set despite ongoing regulatory scrutiny of crypto-related financial products. The move signals increased acceptance of crypto ETFs in the U.S. market, with XRP now poised for broader investor access. It doesn't really say if it's for accredited or institutional or whatever that is, but the spot ETF will be for retail. So this is bullish. This is good. We're excited about it. This is signaling that we're going to see a lot more adoption with a lot of the other ETFs. We do know, unfortunately, that Polkadot and Hedera has essentially it's been kind of put on hold for now until, I want to say, June 11th. And the reason why, we talked about it yesterday on the stream, very, 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 very simple stuff. We have a brand new SEC chairman that has replaced Gary Gensler, Paul Atkins. He is pro-crypto, he is pro-Bitcoin, and he wants to set regulatory guidelines. He wants them to be firm, and he wants to put these through. It's going to take time. It is going to take time to do this. Why? Because that's how the world works, okay? When we're talking about regulation, that's just how it works, and it's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. So this is good. This is exciting. This is a step in the right area, in my opinion. Now, let's talk about the Bitcoin supply over here. This is from Mr. Dennis Porter. He said, "We've never seen this before. We've never had a global Bitcoin supply crunch." So this is just a chart over here, and it's basically Bitcoin exchange balance. It's from CryptoQuant, and it's showing that the amount of Bitcoin on exchanges is decreasing. So really, really quickly, Bitcoin is a finite asset. You can only make 21 million Bitcoin. Cash is an infinite asset. You can continue to print it 24/7, 365. We have governments that print cash. We have corporations that print cash via traditional financial instruments. And we have, governments and, the banks too. So we have all these guys that have access to unlimited money supply, and that money supply is going to go into a finite asset. So of course, the supply is going to decrease. Basic supply and demand. If you have an asset that there's a lot of demand for and you don't have enough supply of it, number goes up. That's what they're talking about. And that's why you're seeing the $220,000 targets, et cetera. However, when I'm looking at the charts right now, the charts aren't looking super great. And this is not a bad thing. This is just a little bit of short-term bearish price action. Not a bad thing. Okay, so this is the daily. We've got the red candle. We're tapping onto support here at about $94,000. Let's go to our naked chart. Let's go ahead and remove the drawing tools. Let's go ahead and just see what's going on. Let's go to the weekly first. So this is where we are on the weekly. Beautiful candle, 85,000 to 95,000, $10,000 candle. Now, the fact that we're going to close above $86,000 is bullish and important. So we're going to go ahead and mark that. We'll go ahead and do that with orange. We opened here at 84. We will do that with green. Got a swing wick high to 95. And currently trading at about $93,000. Great, fine, fantastic. I would love to see us trade to close above 1223 opening and close these 2 weeks over here. Well, these 2-3 weeks over here, and the opening of 3/3/2025. It would make me feel a little bit better. So we'll see where we end up landing. But again, this is a pretty bullish chart. Market cipher green dot is still there. We still have a chance to continue upward trajectory. However, we might want to expect volatility. Now, why? Well, taking a look at the daily, we are having a little bit of trouble sustaining above $93,000. We're also in the overbought territory. So we might get volatility. We might drop to $90,000, et cetera. But really, the fact that we're able to stay above like the $85,000, that is good. That is bullish. That is exactly what we want to do. Also, if we zoom out a little bit and we look at the previous price action, we don't really have a lot of support and resistance in this range between $86,000 and $93,000. We don't. So even if we were to lose support and get a little bit of a dip down here, maybe back to 91, that's fine. So that's something that I might expect for this week. However, if there's some excitement that happens, if we get more news about the tariffs, et cetera, price will continue to go upward. 4-hour chart is looking that we've kind of hit bottom over here, but there might be a little bit more room to head down. So we'll see. But overall with Bitcoin, we are looking okay. People think we're going to go to $220,000, $250,000 this cycle. Fine, fantastic. I wouldn't be surprised if we do. Now, really quickly, just want to show you all this, the chart over here with my levels, because it's important. This area is incredibly important to stay above, is $95,000. If we take a look at the weekly here, we just have swing wicks. We don't have any candles. And again, candles establish important price action area. Okay. Very, 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 very important. Now, take a look at Ethereum. Ethereum on the weekly, we're going to get rid of all the drawing tools. This could have actually been the bottom at about $1,400. And now we're trading at $1,800. So this is going to be the weekly over here. Ethereum has a long ways to go, But good thing is hopefully Vitalik is going to make these changes. It's going to incite market excitement. Bankless is shilling Ethereum like crazy. I'm done with Ethereum this cycle. I really, really, really am. I don't really like the way the foundation's handling things. I just don't like a lot of the fundamentals about it. I think that there's way more, there's a lot more superior layer lens that we can pay attention to. So with that being said, Ethereum is looking okay on the daily. We printed that green dot. So hopefully that's a local bottom. And hopefully this was the local bottom. This was the generational bottom for this cycle. Fingers crossed. Taking a look at the daily, we've got, with Ethereum, we've got a long ways to go. Really, really long ways to go before we can get back to $4,000 over here. We can say that we got that breakout, and we can just look at these support and resistance areas over here that of targets. And again, you just kind of slap these on. You can use fibs, whatever the hell you want to do. But we're going to need to make some nice upward action. So with Ethereum, I'm just going to go by the levels. We need to flip above 1,800 and then really sustain above $2,100. Now, Solana, on the other hand, Solana is showing a little bit of weakness over here. We were able to flip 145 into support. And it looks like we're going to start heading down a little bit. We're a little bit overbought on the daily. Taking a look at the weekly look nice, but we are a little bit extended. However, we do have the weekly patterns take a lot longer to play out. So I just want to see us close above 146. SUI has been on an absolute tear. We'll kind of see where we end up landing with this one. But SUI is kind of notoriously been known to have really, really bullish price action. And when we have corrections, we end up doing pretty well again. So that's kind of what we're seeing happen here. XRP, based on the news today, we're at 216, hit 226. We really need that close above 222. However, just as long as we stay above the $2 mark, I'm fine. Fantastic. Link is actually heading back down over here, 1532, and we're heading back down into this range. We do have a pretty big red dot over here, which is fine. But at the same time, I would prepare for a little bit of downward action unless we are able to stay in 475. Cardano is just chilling at 69 cents. Key support here is 67 cents. Congratulations and happy birthday to Dog on Bitcoin. They are been around for 1 year. Big congrats to them. Hedera also did pretty well, and we hit that 20-cent mark over here. However, we're dropping, but I would just like to see us stay above 18 cents over here. I would like to see that. AAVE did really, really, really nicely because DeFi, curve, compound, AAVE, DeFi. That's done pretty well. What else? I think that's pretty much it for the charts. But I did want to go ahead and give a shout out to the Just Lotto community. I'm not invested in this. I'm not telling you to invest in this. I'm not telling you to do anything. I'm just giving their community a shout out because they've been very nice to me and asked me for a favor. And I have no problem doing nice things for nice people that are just good people. Well, I don't know if they're good or not because I don't know them in person, but I promised them I'd give them a shout out because we do that here. Just as long as you're kind to me, it don't matter. So one of the gentlemen that's running it, the official page of Lotto, says, after launching Lotto, the meme on 11/27/2024, we launched 3 lines of NFTs known as the Lotto Ballers. All 3 lines work as your Lotto ticket, automatically entering each holder into our live Lotto drawings every Saturday. Our first double jackpot winner hit 22 Sol, which, hey, that's a pretty decent amount. Love that. NFTs give you 50% off poker tournaments as well as 1 free entry per month. We play poker twice a week and stream for a total of 6 days a week with the camera on, which is important because some of these guys are anonymous. To ensure our communication, transparency, community engagement is always on all-time high. Every dollar of revenue we have brought in thus far has gone towards our chart or in the form of giveaways, Poly or Solana, to ensure no one has a reason to get rid of their winnings. Which again, I talk about profit taking, making moon bags, doing all that, etc. You guys can do whatever it is that you want to do. You guys can do whatever it is that you want to do. Don't mind. I do take profit. I don't care what project it is. I take profit. Moon bags are important. You can still take profit and have holding. So anyways, if you guys are interested in that type of gaming, I highly recommend you check them out. I was not paid to talk about it. I'm not telling you to buy it. This is not financial advice. I'm simply telling you to go check it out. They seem like a really cool community. But anyways, on that note, I'm going to get going because I want to go finish my bedrock. And I think I need some cheesy eggs with maybe onions on them. I don't know. Anyways, you guys, sending y'all love and light. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, set alert, yourmom.com. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.